Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another game day build-up here on the local pundit, or if you're on the global pundit, welcome from there as well. Have a massive day here. There is a full slate of games. The pressure is building. 7 games to go for us, 8 for some teams. Can the teams behind us keep applying pressure? Can we keep our running streak going? All this and more on your game day build-up. Let's get in with the show.
Hello, hello.
All in black.
Yes, another Tuesday, another match. And the boys are playing in red again.
Yep. Yeah, I did think that was a possibility with the black. They have that striped kit. They have a yellow kit. I thought, yeah, it could be in black. But no, in the home kit. How you feeling about that? I know it's not your favourite thing.
Well, look, we broke that duck egg the last time by winning in red. So I'm happier now. But I wear away kits when it's away. That's just the way I am.
Can we keep this form going, Paddy? Can we keep this form going? Well,
and it is some form. It really is.
Yeah, and we'll get into all that in a minute. Let's start like we normally do. We got our routine down now, Paddy. I think we're getting pretty slick at this. Here they are, in a big surprise.
Exactly the same.
It's not one change to our lineup. So fight hard, bring it home. I did think there was a possibility that we maybe could have seen somebody new tonight, but
it would be nice. It would be nice. However, we saw this last season. Once Parky gets to the final couple of matches, he plays the same team. That's it. Unless you're injured, unless you have an issue, you stay there. And we've been winning. Simple as that. We've been winning.
Well, it's only this is a starting lineup. So there's only 6 games to go after this. So there's only 6 more games until we get Josh a new tattoo.
I might get another one myself.
So yeah, but I mean, look, welcome in everybody. I can see everybody in the chat. I see Lexi's actually already. Her husband's asked to put his input. Apparently, we're going to kick some ass. So anyway, let's see how we go today. Let's get rid of them and get into. There it is, the big lineup for Cambridge, and we can go through that team. Obviously, Bishop, Bennett, Digby, Morrison, Watts doesn't really mean much at all. But Paddy, I think we've got some stats to get into these players and stuff right now. But I think you're going to start with something else. So we'll pull this away and show me what you've got. Show me what you've got up first.
So just like last week, I'm going to just quickly go through a few stats. So first up, we have managers. We know from last week, Parky's been with us for a long time, a lot of seasons. 2.00 points per game average, which is excellent, and is promotion after promotion after promotion. Harris is a new manager for Cambridge United. They dumped their old one. They got a new one. He's only had 8 matches in charge. 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, 1 point per game. Not amazing, but not terribly bad either, considering the position the boys are in. 1 point per game often will just about get you to survive, but they didn't have that for the remainder of the season, so he's a little bit behind. So obviously taking out us would be a massive scalp, and to be honest, even taking a point from us is actually a fairly decent result for them. So let's hope they don't go into a very heavy block that we have to have difficulty breaking down, and let's kick a few goals in the first half and just stop that.
It is a fairly decent result for them, Paddy, but they need more.
They need points. They do need points, but the second team in the league, look, you have to be realistic too. I think they'll be somewhat happy with a point if they can end up with it. But obviously they're going to go for the 3. I think they have to try and go for it. Yeah.
They're 11 points behind the 20th place team, which is Bristol Rovers. So, yeah, it's very tough for them. But like you said, new coach, David v. Goliath almost, with
pretty much
213 matches versus Harris's 8. So, going to be but fresh, young, keen. Fresh and keen. Maybe not so young.
Okay, moving on. Now we have the Cambridge players. We're going to pull up a couple of stats there. I actually did a new little graphic today, and it just so happens that most of the players I wanted to talk about this week were actually up front for them in their striking midfield zone. So they play a 4-2-3-1. And before we saw the lineup, I picked out Kachunga, Stokes, and Brophy as some of their main players to go over. And Kachunga is on the bench today, so he won't be playing yet. Maybe later in the match. So who do you want to start with, and who goes first?
Well, why don't you start with Brophy then?
Okay, let me pull up Brophy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so James Brophy plays in a 7 shirt, 30 years of age, so experienced, as you would call him. He is a left mid, and he has 2 goals and 5 assists. So he is a decent playmaker. Obviously, experience, he knows how to drop people in. He's a very solid rating for his stats, just under 7, 6.93. 5 yellow cards, which is not too bad for the season. He has played 36 matches, started 36 matches, and played in 39. So one of their mainstays for the season. He's not a backup. He is someone they rely on and have relied on during the season. His other stats, not amazing, because obviously it's a weaker team down the bottom of the table. 45% for aerial duels, 61% chances created, touches 13, shot attempts 25, and goals 52. So he has a couple of goals, and if we allow him to get in, he could score. One to watch.
Yeah. Yep, that very interesting, very interesting. Well, I guess next up we've got Josh Stokes, who is an attacking midfielder. He is only 20 years of age, sorry, and he is on loan from Bristol City. He has played 25 matches and started 20 of them this season. So very interesting. His FOTMOB rating 6.85. He's had 3 yellow cards. So he's played a lot of matches and started a lot of matches. So that's great to see. I mean, his metrics, 72% on shot attempts, 62% on goals, 60% defensive action, 72% aerial duels won. So that is quite interesting there in terms of, he's just a good young attacking midfielder. He scored 5 goals this season, 3 of them from well inside the box and 2 of them from just outside the box. So not afraid to take a strike from a bit of range too. So he's definitely going to have to be a player we watch.
Yeah. We said Kachunga's on the bench, so we won't do him at the moment.
Here you go. Drew does whatever. Let's satisfy the fans, Paddy.
Yeah.
Why don't you do Hella Victor?
Hella Victor. Okay, let me find him. 2 seconds.
Yeah, take your time, but don't say we don't look after the fans, Drew.
Hella Victor.
Is he there? Well, no.
I
don't
can't
even bother. No.
Is he not playing?
He's pulling our leg. So I'll bring that back up. There we go. Drew, that's the last time you ever get anything ever from us. But let's face it. Let's have a look at who else we have here.
Okay, so we have Ballard. Ballard on my graphic is actually where the Cambridge United logo is, because I wanted to remind myself they're in a 3-1. So Ballard is 20 years of age. He is a striker. 2 goals and 1 assist. He has started 16 matches. And he has played in 28. So maybe he has found form and is coming into the team more at the moment. I would guess, because he has played the last couple of matches. His stats not great. Touches 33, shot attempts 33, goals 5%, defensive 26, aerial duels 20%, chances created 30. So not one of their better players. He's still young, still learning. But look, he is a striker. You never let a striker get in on goal because they can score. Only 2 yellow cards as well. So nothing particularly dirty there.
Talking about cards, we've got some guy called Josh Anthony trying to call out like a red card. I don't know about that. it's just one of those things. This is a early warning, Josh. Just so you know, it's early in the game. We can't be handing out cards just yet. We're trying to ease into it. So, and I have to laugh. Lexi's after no April Fool's Day jokes today. Well, ironically, I'm already past that. It's Wednesday here, so it is April 2nd here already. But I mean, look.
Yeah, I'm not too far off of myself.
No, a weak team. We should be beating Cambridge United tonight. These are the banana peel games, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. And let's move on to the next slide, because this will show how much of a banana peel. Again, a couple of stats from last week. We are in second with 77. They are 23rd with 31 points. Points per game for us for the season, 1.97. They are less than 0.79. Now, home versus away. So they are home with 22nd in the table at 20 points. We away are 5th in the league tables for away points with 31. So we are on form. We are on hot form away. We should be able to take these out in theory with ease, but look, never look past anybody until it happens. Clean sheets, obviously, we are way up there. We have improved again. So we are number 1 for clean sheets with 20, and they have equal 21st with 6, which is at least a couple. Possession. Yep. We're beating them on possession as well. We have found the team that has less possession than us. 47% for us and 43.7 for them.
Interestingly on that, Paddy, just on that graphic of possession, will that affect the game, the style of game tonight, with us possibly having a bit more possession? We had a bit more possession in the last game.
Last one as well.
Exeter, and looked really good.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, like in that graphic you've got there, which is interesting, but I remember you saying 2 points per game is definitely enough normally to get you through. And if we take the win tonight, we will go back up to 2 points per game, which will be our average, because we'll go to 80 points and we will have played 40 games.
Yes.
So even my math, I can figure that out.
It's an easy one if we win it tonight. Yeah, the other stat then, last one I didn't mention there, was yellow cards. Again, big discussion last week after the complaints against us. But yellow cards, they are 5th in the table with 83. So they are up there for yellow cards as well, and fouls. So another team, look, that happens. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're a hard tackling team or that they're doing it on purpose. They're just always defending, which means you have to draw cards sometimes because you have to go for it. But they're still well up there. Now, we mentioned our points per game, and for 2 seconds, I'm going to pull it up. I didn't do this last week, but when I looked at the stats, I was actually a little bit amazed. It's not really the Cambridge stats I'm bothered about here, but this is our form. So I did last 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 matches just to see how it's moving. And it's not moving very much. But from the last 12, we have 2.08, 10, 2.2, 2.38, 2.5, and 2.25 in the last 4. So we are well above the average. We are basically on a hot streak. And I don't think anyone has actually ever really said that we're on such a hot streak. Maybe people are kind of a little bit tentative to actually say how well we're doing. And considering we had that tough 6 stretch of teams, they are crazy results.
Well, this is exactly right. So, I mean, and as we get into this and we're looking at today's game and you're looking at those points per game, it just shows our back end of season form, which is the most important thing right now.
Yeah,
because obviously having this good points in Paddy's stats that he has here means they weren't that great before then, because our average at the moment is 1.97.
0.97. Yeah, so it dropped a bit. We had our periods, where we dropped a couple of games. Everybody generally does, but we picked it back up. And then the last 2 there that I didn't mention is our last 4 away versus their last 4 at home. So again, our home form has been excellent. Last 4 is 2.25. Last 8 away have been 2.25. So all the narrative that was earlier in the season, again, about our away form not being good enough, need to pick it up. The home form is the Kairos is a fortress. that narrative has changed a little bit. We're still doing excellent at home, but it's our away form has really picked it up, and that is what's going to get us over the line when we look back on this, is getting our away form together. Even if it ends up being the weaker half of the table, doesn't really matter, if you look at the away form. But excellent results.
And Dan Moore, I did see your comment there. I will mention that. Paddy and I'll have a chat about that in post-production. We'll talk about maybe doing that as a special show of comparing Wrexham v Wickham, because that is what really matters at the moment, isn't it, Paddy? When I look at the table, I'm like, wow, we're in, obviously second place on 77 points, played 39 games. Wickham on 74 points, played 38 games. So, I mean, Wickham, ironically, we're playing Cambridge United tonight, who are in 23rd place. Wickham playing 24th place, playing last. They're playing Shrewsbury. Yeah. So,
and look,
expecting both teams, you expect both teams to win.
To win. You do, absolutely. But this is what we say. Anybody in this league is capable of pulling off a win here and there, certainly pulling off a draw. And we know Shrewsbury can do it. They did it to us, bastards. And they also did it to Birmingham. So, they are capable of doing some damage as well. So, yeah, you expect them to win. You expect us to win. And another match gone, and then we move on. And the matches start getting harder for Wickham very soon.
Well, they do. It gets tighter, but it doesn't just get tighter for Wickham. It gets tighter for us as well. So the pressure arrives on everybody. I see Drew does whatever. Seriously, he is literally picking up on every little detail. That calendar in the background, Drew, does have some Navy ships on it. So there you go. I hadn't really taken too much notice, but that's what it is. Actually, Patrick, Wickham won't want to lose. Let's hope for a 0-0. Let's have a look. Why doesn't everybody put their score predictions in the chat tonight? Because I noticed Patrick had put up his. He's hoping for a 3-0. So it'll be interesting to see what everybody else thinks. I think it's going to be a 2-0. I don't know. What did you go for, Paddy?
I think I went 2-0.
Yeah, let's have a look. We did get our tips in. Wrexham.
I would love this to be a 4-0, for a change, to actually just be comfortable, get an easy 2 in the first half, then come out in the second half and keep going. Yeah.
And these late afternoon into evening games, these midweek games, I see iFollows. I've just brought up my iFollow for the game, and I can see that the shadows, the sun is just on the far stand, but not for long. It's going to disappear quickly into nighttime. So, but it is a perfectly clear day there in Cambridge. There is not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. Good, solid win here is exactly what we need. Keep pushing this pressure. That runway's going to be here soon. Last Saturday was 5 weeks. 5 weeks to the dot for the remaining matches. So we are getting closer, guys. A lot of duplicate or double matches in a week. Although it does change late in the season back to single matches, because not so many people have postponed this season. Better grounds, better grass, easier to get rid of the rain. So only really Birmingham have to catch up on matches. And then we also have the Easter weekend, which is the big Friday, Monday holiday matches instead of the Saturday.
Obviously, Wickham has to catch up on a match. I might quickly bring up the table. Might quickly bring up the table, Paddy.
Yeah.
And here it is. So what you can see there, well, you just can't quite. I'll bring Birmingham back into the screen. There they are. So obviously, actually, John Merrill's not here, and I don't care if John was here or not. Let's move them out of the screen. There we go. No one cares about Birmingham.
Yeah.
That ladder looks way better now. But what's interesting there is obviously that battle. I mean, obviously right now it is looking, every week it's looking more and more like a 2-horse race. With Charlton and Stockport having played the same amount of games as us, on 69 and 68. So they're 8 and 9 points behind us, respectively. Let's say all those teams get through with a win tonight. Then you get down to 6 games left to go. Obviously, with Wickham with the game in hand, both Charlton and Stockport. I honestly can't see what, like, the reason I can't see, mathematically they can run down Wrexham or Wrexham and Wickham, but I can't see both Wrexham and Wickham faltering that much.
No, they're almost out of it. Another couple of matches, the two of them basically have to go undefeated. Are not even undefeated. They have to win everything. They have to win every single match almost to the end of the season to have a shot at it. And it also takes us to lose a match here and there as well to drop below them. So it's a lot to ask for them. They're basically done. But of course, they just want to secure their playoffs. And the opposite is also true. If they go on a terrible run and have a couple of back-to-back losses, 3 matches in a row, they could slide out. They could actually drop out of playoffs.
Yeah. Yep. I can see in the chats, people, I see Drew and Sarah going on about complimenting me to see if they can make me turn red. Maybe you should just be abusing me today. Maybe no compliments today, just abuse. But so, Paddy, what do you think? Look, I mean, do you think there's anything else? I mean, we've got the table there. I'm just looking at some of the other games now. Lincoln City are playing Huddersfield today.
Yeah.
That is probably, when you look at Lincoln City in 12th, this is last chance saloon for them to stay in the hunt. I think they're gone, but, then who else we got? I mean, Crawley Town, another lowly team. They're at home to Peterborough. This is probably Crawley Town with their new manager coming in has made a difference, obviously, and are now trying to make that run to stay out of relegation. So the big match for both Burton and Crawley, who are chasing down Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers are at home to Birmingham. Could be home to.
That's the only thing that's keeping them in it at the moment. They're about to run out of their runway for the relegation zone. They're in trouble down there as well. They are really chasing. But of course, the Birmingham match will probably take the 3 points today, giving them just that little bit of hope. I really think it's just delaying the inevitable for the two of them.
Well, I will say Burton is probably the one out of Burton and Crawley.
Burton has
Burton
the
have an
best
extra
chance.
game.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, I agree that they're the best chance of escaping.
Yeah. Ironically, and that's who we play next week. Not that I'm worried about that tonight, but that's who we play next week at home. Now, if Burton are playing Leyton Orient tonight, so I mean, with Bristol Rovers playing Birmingham, you would expect Birmingham to obviously beat Bristol. And if that does happen for the bottom of the table, Burton are playing Leyton Orient, who are up in 9th, who have a lot to play for. Like, again, they're playing for playoff position, so a massive game there. I'll be sort of keeping one eye on that through our match. And Crawley, I did mention that already. They are at home to Peterborough. And Peterborough are very streaky, Paddy, as you would know, being your second favourite team.
Yeah, absolutely. They are very streaky. So they're safe now. Obviously, they're far enough up that they're safe. But they're when they're on form, they're good. They can put in 3 and 4 goals. But if they're not on form, they can be beaten just as easily. So.
Yeah. So I mean, look, there is a lot to watch there tonight. But let's why don't we just quickly, obviously, bring back our unchanged lineup there?
Yeah.
So, which makes it very easy for us to go through the squad because we're not talking about any changes. No changes in formation, no changes in team lineup. And I'm expecting, as scary as it is to say, I'm expecting a very similar game to our game against Exeter.
Yeah, and if we can pull it off in the same way, then easy win in theory. But this is the point I've made before: is if you're at the top of the table in the top 3 and you're generally good enough to fight for auto promotion, what you normally see is the team can easily dispatch the lowest of the league. like the bottom six, they can usually put in very solid, easy performance and just clear out that bottom six. Bar the odd mistake here and there, random loss or whatever, just one or a draw here and there. And unfortunately, it's not that often that we do that. We're winning the matches, we're getting the points, but I would really like to have a couple of comfortable matches where we look like one of the best teams in this league. I'd like to see that more.
And interestingly enough, like Cambridge was a bit of a banana peel game for us last time, and John Hills has commented there, obviously with the new manager. So it will be interesting to watch their style of play tonight with the new manager. I mean, new manager comes in, normally brings a new lease on life to a playing squad, brings a new energy, and obviously he's only had 2 games, he's had 2 draws. So, what will we see from them tonight? Do you think I'm not so much worried about them, Paddy. I guess I'm really more concentrated on our style of play.
Yeah.
Are you expecting I'm expecting the same as Exeter. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I am expecting pretty much the same. I'm actually just pulling up their lineup from our previous match because I wanted to have a look at it because we basically play the same football. We haven't changed, but they have a new manager. So their lineup they went for was a 3-4-2-1 when they played us last time, and now it has changed. They have a flat 4 back, 4-2-3-1. So they have changed it up quite a bit. May not be the same type of match, but look, it's one of these. I'm not overly worried about them. I'm actually much more comfortable than I usually am with away matches with weaker teams. I guess in my bones, I'm starting to believe that we can take out these easier teams. And we'll have to see if they step up. Any team can be dangerous. We keep saying it. They have something to play for. They still have something to play for the moment. So
absolutely.
Absolutely.
They've still got something to play for. So it's one of those games where you've just got to go get the business done. What I do like is, obviously, I've been reading a fair few interviews from the leader, and there was a fair bit with Ollie Rathbone and a couple of other players, and just the underlying tone of those interviews was, we've got to get the job done. We've got to play well. We've got to keep winning these games. It wasn't like, it was really about winning. And that makes me that I really like that.
Yes, absolutely. And we have weaker teams. We keep saying that. So we had the last match, we have this one, then we have Burton on the weekend. If we pull all 9 points from that, even if Wickham do the same and stick with us, they then on Tuesday have their final match. They're going to have their makeup match, and we'll see where they are at that point. Are they identical to us then on a 5-match run-in, and then they hit their really difficult period, and we have more balanced?
Psychologically, for them, that would be a big thing because
that would be a big match.
The table would put them back in second on for and against, unless there's some massive. Well, it would have to, because they're 5 goals clear of us now. I mean, both teams win tonight. Even if they caught up 2 goals, they'd be 3 goals clear of us. So even if Wrexham caught up 3 goals, and they'd have another game and another win, so they would move back into second on the table after that game. And psychologically, that would be a big thing.
Yeah, well, they need obviously the three single goals to win their 3 matches we're talking about there. So we need to make up. How many do we need to make up? 5, is it? At the moment?
Yeah, 5. We're 5.
So 5 plus 3. We need to take 8 goals in the next 2 because they're playing 3 in the same time. So that's a tough ask. I don't expect us to be making up that goal difference in those 2 matches. However, later in the season, we could slide some extra goals back.
There's a scenario I do not want to be living, Paddy. we're equal on
goal difference on the final day.
Maybe 3 goals behind on goal difference with 2 games to go.
Yeah.
When you think of the final games of the season, like our second last game is Charlton, their last game is Stockport.
Stockport.
What I am The one saving grace I have at the moment is that they have a very tough end to the season.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do.
Yeah.
Look, if they pull it off, you're going to have to say hats off. Look, you had an amazing end, because they will be chasing us right down to the last if they can pull this off.
Yep. Agreed. And Steve Barton, 5 memberships. Thank you, Steve. If you do get one of those memberships, make sure to throw a comment in there, and thanks, Steve, for that. A long-time supporter of here at the local pundit. We really love it. I can see people in there putting in this. John Hills wants 7-0. It's overdue. Well, wouldn't that be nice? Just wipe out the goal difference. What was it? Forest Green Rovers. What was our score against Forest Green Rovers?
I think it was 6.
Yes, it was massive.
I think one of them hit a 6.
And as if 5 free memberships wasn't enough,
10 more.
Steve's backed it up with another 10.
Good man, Steve. Everybody loves you here.
Yeah, Steve. Thank you so much. So, yeah, there you go. John Hill says it was 6-0. So, I mean, could you imagine that tonight, a 6-0 win against Cambridge, and Wickham win by 1 goal, and we're all square after tonight?
Yeah, I can see it happening, but
I'd love to say I can see it happening. I just can't.
No, I don't mean it. It's a very good chance of it happening, but I could see it happening. But yeah, we need to take 3 in the first half, because the one thing is they absolutely need the points, and they're going to open up and come at us. They're going to have to throw everything at us and get rid of all caution with defense if we go 3 ahead. There's nothing else. Otherwise, they just sit there and lose. Simple.
Let's face it. If you're a true Wrexham fan, these are the sorts of comments you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. A surprise win for Shrewsbury. There you go. Lyoko video. Thanks, Steve. There you go. Lexi. Yeah, Steve Barton. Good on you guys for thanking Steve. And I think that's fantastic. So, there you go, Steve. There's the love for you from Lexi, from Lyoko. So, yeah. And I think it's Amy Wilder. All these people getting their free memberships. So really appreciate that. See the boys warming up. We got the white shorts tonight with the red top. So I like that look. I like the white shorts.
Yeah.
With the red
white shorts are nice.
Looks very sharp. I mean, now Dobbo looks to be moving very freely. So no issues from that hamstring strain the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a worrying one for a couple of minutes.
I was very nervous about that too. And it's good to see the boys actually flying to the game to save time.
Even if it is only an hour, I don't really care.
Well,
I'm sorry, guys. Get over it.
But I mean, look, that 35-minute flight to Exeter the other day versus a 4 to 5 hour bus ride, that makes a massive difference at this time of year.
Yeah. I don't think it's that much, but yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. That was to the Exeter.
Oh, it was the last week. The last week one was,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like a massive difference in that travel time. And especially when you think about it, like they're straight on the plane, straight back home. They get into recovery quicker. Yeah. All these things make a difference in these short turnarounds. And I'm not too sure about Wickham's traveling times on their games, but just the condensed nature of their matches to finish off the season, like 9 matches in April.
Yeah. It'll be tough for them. And look, if you can get an advantage by spending a bit of cash and taking a flight instead of taking the long bus, so be it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for it.
Well, with 27 million in turnover, they could almost be flying private, Paddy. Just not just a charter plane, just private planes. So, I mean, I'm super excited for tonight. I mean, do you think, we've got the same lineup, but I actually feel like I've got a funny sense Rathbone's going to have a big game tonight.
It's been a little while, yeah. I'd love to see him have a big match.
Maybe another goal for Rodriguez, 3 games in a row.
Well, yeah. Have people stopped giving out to him yet? If not, he needs another goal.
And the other thing that'll happen tonight is Macca will make 10 new friends in the stands.
Yeah. Look, I want to see a bit of fire out of Maka. He's doing his defensive duties. He obviously doesn't stop. He gives what he can give. But I'd love to see some real attacking fire out of him in a match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to when you look at obviously the unchanged lineup, but there's so much more within it. Like, I mean, in the last month, O'Connell has really stepped up his game in defence. Of being, he's playing the higher percentages. I think also Brunt has been excellent since forcing his way back into the starting lineup. So, when you look at that, I think, when I look across the park and I look at these guys, it seems to me Parky just knows how to get his players into that top form at the right time at the end of the season.
Yeah, and he's done it the last 2 seasons in a row. We absolutely had the same thing. We had different periods during the start and the early second half that gave us a hard time, but then we just hit the final gear. And it's unfortunate for Scar, I think, with the whole O'Connell thing. It's great that O'Connell stepped up. I didn't expect him to.
No, me either.
He's had a couple of mistakes and big mistakes, but he's a defender. And if you mess up, it can lead to a goal, like a goalie. So I wouldn't, after what he's put in now, I wouldn't criticize him too hard for that. But it will be interesting to see what happens with Scar in the summer. Will he be fighting for a place next year again, or will he maybe look elsewhere?
I think he probably will stay, ironically. But
he might.
What I will say is he's on the bench and he's looked very he looks very happy. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he wants to start, but he also, he's right there with the squad. It's not like he's sort of gone and disappeared from the face of the earth like a couple of other players who I won't mention.
Yeah.
But I'm actually just watching him now just try and kick a goal, and he missed it. He sent the thing 30 feet in the air, but that's okay. It's
yeah. So Michael Wolf just asked there, how old is Scar? Scar is 30.
Yep. And ironically, they're doing shots on goal here at the moment. And who's doing the defending in goal? Callum Burton.
Okay.
Getting some time there.
I'm wondering when he comes back to the bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if he'll come back to the bench or not, will Howard just be left there for the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, let's face it. Howard made no mistakes when he was playing. Well, he played great. Well,
he did play great. Yeah, he did.
But he did play great.
He did. Yeah.
You can't deny
Very pleased.
That.
Very pleased. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, and look, yes, EOC playing high percentages is the improvement in his game. He had a patch when he was taking too many risks, but also some of his mistakes were trying to cover for another mistake. You're right, Bruce. That is exactly right. I mean, but he did also create a couple of those mistakes. But in the last month, he's really stepped that up. So, I mean, look, guys, I know Josh will be in makeup right now getting ready for the watch along. So we've got about 4 minutes left of the game day build-up show. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share it. You're going to have, obviously, Josh doing the watch along. Paddy, extra time today?
Yep, when we're done.
And that's everybody's chance to come in and have their say. Get in with Paddy. Had a few more people in the last couple of games too, I've noticed, Paddy.
Yeah, I think we had 6 last week, which I'm pretty sure is a record. So, guys, absolutely, after today, I want to break our record of 6. So I'd like 7 in
that
today.
Would be good. Well, actually, Paddy, don't hold back. Go for double figures.
No, because then it'll be 8 the next day. Look, we'll build it up to the end of the season.
Fair enough. No, well, I mean, look, it's I can see the stand starting to fill. The players have gone off the pitch now, getting ready to obviously doing final preparation before they come out. Sprinklers are back on, just watering the field. So, I mean, it is getting very, very close to game day. I'm just super excited for today to get, I really want to get through this, get another win. The games are coming thick and fast. Like, it just feels like only hours ago that we were watching us play Exeter, and now we're back out there against Cambridge.
Yeah. And I don't know if you spotted in the comments there, a few people are saying that Mark Griffiths will not be commentating today. He has actually left due to some emergency.
Hope everything's okay for him.
So yeah, from everybody at the local pundit and from all our subscribers and fans, we all say the best to him and hope that whatever it is resolved and everything is good for you. We'll miss you on commentary today.
Yeah, Mark, if you do end up watching this, I know probably won't be watching right now, but yeah, obviously ditto to Paddy's comments. Yeah, absolutely. I think, but now we are about to get ready for Josh. I'm just looking at the game day build-up and looking at some of these other matches. I do notice that I'll get a double up today. I do actually get the Bristol Rovers v Birmingham on BN Sports. So I'll be able to watch two games, which is good. Thank you, Steve. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to put this out there. How do I keep winning letters to the match? I'm really short. I'm going to call it, well, I'm going to say blonde hair, and everybody can give me heaps about it because it is grey. And that's fine. But I don't know how I keep winning it, because obviously Paddy has way better hair than I do. I mean, we never see Aaron's. Josh occasionally takes off his hat. But in a 2-horse race today, I would still say Paddy has way better hair than I do.
I hide it with my headphones.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, I mean, well, Paddy, last words. What are you expecting tonight? What are we hoping for?
Oh, expecting a 2-0, hoping for a 4-0.
Okay. Well, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe if you haven't on the way out. Get ready to watch Josh in the watch along now. And don't forget, after the game, come along and check out Paddy's Extra Time. Get in there and have your say. So, Paddy, on that bombshell?
On that bombshell, let's go.
See you later.